before it can even start gaining its properties.
But can they grow the beard?
And 2 of you have +1 to hit, but not +1 to damage weapons. That'll be Nevea and Dura. Got those masterwork items.
Nevea and Dura what?
Got masterwork weapons. They just need to get them enchanted, or could get them enchanted.
Well, aren't you fancy?
And Dura and Avora already took their share of money out of the party treasure. I think Nevea did too.
I think me and Jury used a lot of ours.
To fix up the place.
House, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny listening to the part where you were like showing them off the house. And Vora and Dura, they open the door and hide inside, waiting for someone to come in. So Nevea goes in first. They jump out, go surprise, and she screams. So Osric casts mage armor on himself.
Amazing.
I think Jamie or somebody goes, I think this smells like a trap. That game was funny.
No, I didn't have time to listen to it. I'll probably listen to it tomorrow.
And then all the work that went into talking Jim into sticking around. Oh, it was great. I don't know if you saw my quote that I posted, but they were talking about Lady Lythe and her influence on William. Nevea and Halan were talking about it.
Oh, I saw that.
She's just probably using him for his naiveness or whatever. He's like, oh, that's awful. Who would do such a thing?
Who indeed?
Yeah.
Except for the pain in the ass of listening to my own voice. I think they're funny to listen back to. But I'm sitting there yelling at myself. There's one point where Jim, it's early on in the game, Jim's trying to listen or to check to see if the water's drinkable now back in that town. And I'm like, oh, what's the skill to check that? And I'm yelling at myself, nature! It's nature, dumbass! Tell him to roll nature! And I'm like, survival? Maybe could be investigation. Oh, nature! There it is! I'm like, what do you want? Not right now. I don't know what you want, but I don't want to give to you. Oh, come on, Pitt. Oh, he's on! Look, guys, look! A wild Chris has appeared.
God.
A wild Chris!
Toss a bag over it. Don't let it get away. Holy shit. It's been so long he doesn't know how to put AC and PP in his name. That's because nobody talks about Chris's PP.
I really appreciate that it just says Chris.
For the period.
First period.
Yeah. Chris space period.
Space period.
That's that homeschooling. That's what it gets you. Chris space period.
Wow, you guys had a battle axe and a morning star that are both +1. Oh. Pretty neat. Jamie's testing out the live stream. Are you on the YouTube channel? Yeah, probably, unless you stole Matt's. Cat, hi. How you doing? I'm going to turn the camera on for a minute so you can see what I am dealing with. Oh wait, yeah, it won't work with OBS. I gotta open OBS. What are you doing? Nope, that's not right. You don't want to see that. Nope, that's not right. You don't want to see that. Nope, that's not right. Get down. You don't want to see that. Hmm. Apparently I broke something. That's not good. That's better. Oh, Chris, get in the channel. Not you, Chris, the other Chris.
Not you, Chrissy.
Jamie also has cat problems. Well, not problem, just... No, don't stream. There we go.
He has a guard cat.
Mine is a in front of me on the desk cat right now. See? I'm gonna need to use that keyboard. No.
Ah!
Dong.
Look, it's a pit of despair. It's a little warm to be dressed like that, isn't it?
I have an air conditioner running.
Oh, all right. So, Chris, you see how everyone else has their names set up on Roll20? It's the new hotness. Everybody's doing it.
Be a sheeple.
One of us.
One of us.
Where do we do that? Is that in settings?
Yeah, in the settings, you gotta change your display name.
Oh my god, how long has it been since you played a game with a... Good lord. Good lord! Oh my god, why is this laptop such a piece of garbage?
Dead. How'd your Stir Drop go? Your new update?
Not as good this time.
Yeah, well, see, the problem is that you keep making really nice dice, and I don't have enough money to buy them, so you need...
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I literally looked at them all, I'm like, I like that one, and 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 I like that one. I'm like, God fucking damn it.
They'll have a separate room in your house. It's just dice.
I already told Andrew I want to take this bed out and turn this into a game room, but he's like, we'll see.
So you've decided on D&D instead of babies. Got it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but then I said today with Nautica, and I was like, baby. Like, I want baby.
Yeah, but now you're going to play D&D and you're going to go, gaming.
We have another guest bedroom, so I could just put the baby room in there.
Oh, that's alright then.
Yes.
I guess. I'm sorry, you may be in other, not both. Just kidding. Obviously, that's not true.
Clearly.
Clearly. Though in my defense, I never had babies. Oh, come the fuck on, computer. You can do better than this.
What's it doing?
I don't know. Nothing.
Huh?
It's a garbage can.
If you give someone else access to her characters and it's just roll P, we could just have her roll her physical dice if she needs to make a roll. Tell her what to add.
You want to know something really funny?
I see her.
I don't have any dice.
Room. Not in this room, no.
I don't know if it's available for everybody or just the pro subscribers, but the Roll20 app actually lets you roll dice on your character sheet now.
It's alright, I'm just restarting my browser, see if that fixes it.
It's okay, Amanda.
Go for it.
I have these ones. I have these ones. I have this one.
People are just
These ones, and these aren't from my bag. They're all from you.
Oh, the one that you want me to make. Oh yeah, the teeny tinies. The one you want me to make a chunk of. Send me a good picture of it so I can try to recreate it.
Okay. I can do that. That's this one, right? I told you
Okay.
I wanted a matching one.
The blue single D20. Yeah.
Yeah. I will send that to you.
You want a matching big one?
Yeah.
Because I made it a while ago now, and I don't remember exactly. It's going to be a struggle, because I'm pretty sure it's one of those ones that, like, I was testing things, and it happened to work out, and I think it was the only one that worked out in that batch, so I have to see if I can get it.
I'll be right back.
It's a good picture. That gets the sparkles in it, too. We have so many fucking channels, bro.
Bro! Who has so many fucking channels?
Our fucking Discord.
I know, oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's what
Okay.
archived.
5 million emoji channels.
I have some of them marked as mute.
I have a lot of them marked as mute as well.
Yeah, same here.
Like all gaming channels except for World of Warcraft. I have yeah.
Two.
Some RPG ones that I'm not a part of. Not
Two.
only a couple of those are muted. But every time I go to look for the Crafty channel, I accidentally open Media, Civics, Home X. I'm like, God damn it, where is it?
Yeah, me too. I do the same
Like-
thing.
As if it's not, like, labeled. I'm just an idiot. Like, I don't know. Crafty might be under Civics. Who knows?
Well, it's annoying because I'll go to look for something and then I hit the wrong one, and of course the wrong one that you hit is one that has 500 different channels. So you're like, gotta close that one, gotta open the other one, gotta find it. And like, that's like my other server I'm on with my friend Toshi. His server, it has just like a million things, and then we have our own. So it's like,
Yeah, any that I don't look at semi-regularly, I mute. I'm like, no.
yeah, I have all the emoji channels muted.
Oh, yeah, I am only in those for emojis.
Exactly. I'm
No.
only here for your pictures that move. So
And, like, I'm in a couple Dice Discords that I'm really only in for, like, information. I find some of the people very annoying, so I just muted the whole server. I'm like, I'll just go search for something when I need it. It's fine.
I love that.
Okay, so it's Roll20 that's slowing my computer down like crazy. It does fine right up until I launch game.
All right, we have everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No,
Laura's missing again. That's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's
trying.
fine. First time back after a long time off. Hi, Kat. Hi. How you doing? Hi.
Hi.
That makes sense.
Well, Chris, you got to put your armor class and your passive perception in your display name. Where's my AC? Oh, 1 billion. I thought it was just AC of 1. It's like, oh, super easy to hit. That's not good.
EM is dead.
I better change that. I will go like this.
Oh my god.
Excellent.
It ain't.
See if I can remember other things that might need to be reminded of folks. There's the new magic shop in town, the Billy Bob's Curiosity Shop that with the guy that you rescued on the road from the Ankegs, who has a permanent 10% off offer for you. Chris is trying to buy ritual scrolls from him. You also can enchant magic items for a fee. And like I was saying before, we have 2 people with magical ready items. We also have magic items in the inventory that someone had mentioned Vanro might want because he's dual melee. Which is Battle Axe and a Morningstar. I'm not sure either one of those are offhandable, but in the Belt of Dwarven kind, someone should probably decide if they want to attune to it just in case.
What is your unarmored strike based off of?
In your case, it's your dex.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm just making the one like I have in the other game where it doesn't add the extra damage.
Right. For the offhand attack?
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why, because of...
As a monk, don't you already take a bonus action to get an extra attack?
I can spend key points too.
Oh, okay.
But if I choose not to, so it's 2 hits versus 1.
Right.
So, but I can use dex instead of strength, but my dex is actually worse.
You can use your strength instead.
Yeah, because I was +5 instead of +7. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Because I'm stronger.
Right.
I was trying to look at all my stuff. Figured that would be easy. What level are we? 5.
5.
12.
Yeah.
Nice try.
So what have you been doing in your time off, ma'am?
So Vanro's been really sick recently. He's just coming out of it. Last thing he remembers is getting up in the middle of the night at this strange inn and going to the bathroom and taking a sip of water on his way back to bed. And the next thing you know, he's back in Roldes. And he hears the story of the Aboleth that you had to kill. And it's like, oh, I missed it.
So it's saying my hit points are at 8,
That seems low.
and my AC is at 13, but I have a +4 dexterity.
So probably
Character sheet
wrong.
say.
So I
Yeah,
think I'm wearing
Is your armor equipped?
You are wearing nothing. Armor-wise, it looks like.
Huh.
I'm naked!
Yeah, it should be at least a 14. And it would be 15 if you have leather, I think. Find out. So you just do this.
You definitely have more hit points than I do.
And it jumps up to 15. Yeah, right? Yes, 38. You're currently at 8, but you have 38 max.
Oh, that makes more sense.
You haven't leveled up to 5 yet either.
No.
Raise up my quarterstaff also has 1d8 of damage? Because I thought it was a +1 just to hit.
It is just a hit.
Why does it have also 1d8 of damage?
If you put the 1 in the magic... Wait, what do you mean 1d8 damage?
I don't know. I was looking at my stuff, and because the quarterstaff +1, I was checking to make sure it wasn't doing the extra +1 damage, and I have a box checked 1d6 plus strength, and then there's a second box checked that says 1d8.
Oh, I mean...
That's if you use it two-handed.
Right.
Oh.
But then why would it be checked?
Yes.
Oh, so if you roll, it'll show...
Yeah, I just rolled it, so it must be that second set.
Yeah.
Okay, let me...
Although it would actually be with all the pluses on it if it was... Yeah, it is adding the +1 to damage.
Yeah. It doesn't have that on here, which is weird.
Yeah, if you put a 1 in the magic box, it's going to add it to both. I'm looking at it
Okay,
now.
so I'm probably better off just doing +1 and
Just putting yes after the strength, where it says strength plus and then there's a 0. Yeah, if you put the 1 there instead,
Okay.
it'll only add it to hit.
Okay. Okay, cool. And then we'll upgrade it this time, and it'll all be not worth the time I just took to do it, but it's...
I'm gonna look at it for a second because you should add your strength bonus to the damage for the D8 version as well. And because you don't carry a shield, I would assume, always be using it two-handed.
I mean, if I use it two-handed, do I also get an unarmed strike?
I think you would, because you can just let go of the thing and punch with it. You have the free hand.
I mean, I'll take it if I just do the 1d8 instead of 1d6.
Yeah, I've always assumed that the monks have been, they're just envisioned to be whipping around, hitting with whatever surface they happen to take a free shot with.
Cool. I will uncheck the 1d6 then.
Alright, are we all here?
Excuse me. No, I need to add 1d8 plus strength, you said. Yeah.
Experimenting with something, Jamie? You got some weird things popping up in my feed there. Oh, macros. Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Hmm. gotta get psyched up, gotta get ready, get back in the groove. So much to do, so little time. Before I press anything, is everybody here and ready?
Mm-hmm.
I am here.
I'm going to turn my fan down so I can hear myself think.
That's all you get.
Can I turn it down without making it cold-blooded? Oh. At least it's pointing at me now. That's better. Alright, I'm looking at the cameras. I see everybody except Amanda. And AJ's camera's not
That's
on.
fine.
No, I'm just... As long as I know everyone's around.
I'm here. I just don't like my face. Just kidding. My face is fine. I just don't want other people to see it. It's private property.
Right. I should probably not use the camera so I can make sure I don't disconnect from Roll20.
I really should have listened to the recordings again. I forget, how old are we at this point?
They're the same age we were when we started, because it's only, 6 months later?
It's
The same age we were when we started. When we started, we were like 4.
Yeah, you were like...
You know what I mean!
I don't think I do, ma'am.
I can tell.
I think from the last game, you gained like a few months. So
Yeah, that tells me nothing. How old were we last game? That was a long time ago.
whatever you have on your character sheet, I assume. Unless you...
God damn it! You want me
unless you
to
haven't
look
been
at things?
updating.
I mean,
Teen, apparently.
I mean,
I know Amanda was younger. Well, William was the youngest.
I'm young. Yeah, I'm younger because I age differently.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at my character sheet, okay? But Roll20 just fucking hates me.
Doesn't matter.
America, just fucking move.
Do get 2 attacks per round.
You never put your age in your character sheet, Amanda.
I didn't. I am unaged.
You're probably like 17 by now, 16 to 17.
How old is everybody else?
18.
I think I'm 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, probably 17.
I don't know that I have an age written down anywhere.
I'll have it written down here.
I am 17. Yeah, I didn't fill out bio at all. That's pretty cool. Hey, look. It said size, medium. That's it. I also have to change my picture. What color am I? What color are my scales? What am I?
Gold, I thought?
I'm gold, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you have fire breath, so you're either red or
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah, it's gold.
All right. I suppose this is good time as any to start, since we're running late because I'm procrastinating. All right.
It's fine. Keep procrastinating. I'm just trying to find a better picture real fast.
I'm going to turn off the camera so I can make sure everything runs smooth. Why is it still showing that? Whatever. All right, I have hit the start record button.
Cool.
I'm going to play this.
Hi, Craig.
I don't know how it's going to sound. Cat, not now.
Hey,
Not
this
now.
picture that's on my icon, my drag out icon. Can you make it my bio icon, my bio picture
I
too?
will at some point. Link it in the
That's
Discord
fine.
channel so I can.
I
remember to
can't.
do it.
I don't have it anymore.
I'll find a way then. I'll have to look for
Okay, I'm sorry. Alright, I'll see if I can find it.
All right. We start with a room. It's a formal-looking office with stacks of magic books, documents, maps. Seated behind the desk, we see the tall elven figure of Lady Lithe with her quill pen is kind of dancing about on its own, writing something on the scroll in front of her. And there's a knock at the door. Cocks her head, turns around, says, "Come in." The door opens, and in walks Lady Clarice Redgrave, leader of the Knights of the Risen Martyr. She approaches the desk, holding her helmet, in front of her, and she says, she kind of just waits, and Lady Lithe turns, says, "Yes, how can I help you?" Redgrave says, "A few weeks ago you offered us, she doesn't say, a unit of Engineer Corps members to fix up the fortress in Kimberlane if we wanted the offer." Lady Lithe kind of half smiles. She says, "I did. If the offer is still on the table, I think we're going to take you up on it." She says, "I will draw up the paperwork now. Do you have a particular unit in mind?" And at that, Redgrave seems surprised that she's given the choice. She says, "No, but I would like to speak with them individually." She says, "Of course. I'll draw up the paperwork now." Very well. But she seems genuinely surprised that it went as easily as it did. So she kind of gives a curtsy or a nod, whatever. Lady Lithe does the same. They end with a relatively amicable. The music is not going the way I wanted it to. It's fine. It's getting too excited and happy. Lady Lithe goes back to. She makes a gesture, and her pen starts scribbling away again. And Redgrave turns and shuts the door behind her. At that point, this is where I would play the cheesy 80s sitcom music as we fly over Rodez and the always Dusk and Rodez theme plays. But we sweep across the city and head toward... That's where the music picks up. Yes, we sweep across the city in this majestic drone footage as we zip over the somewhat broken areas and over the nice palace and the 4-story mage school, and we zip along the wall on the eastern side over some of the slum areas, and we see a bunch of Dragonborn going about their day in their little somewhat self-segregated section of Rodez, and we kind of hook a left, and by left I mean right, because I'm doing the gesture as if you can see me, and we zip along the southern wall, and we come in on the 3-story manor house that is situated in an area of Rodez that is obviously still being redesigned, rebuilt. There's this one manor house that stands out like a sore thumb because it is pristine and practically brand new. We see a ladder and some scaffolding out front, and we see Osbright with his hammer and screwdrivers and stuff tearing off a molding strip that he doesn't think looks right and replacing it. No. No. Because in that last game you were complaining, who'd you get to do all the work on this building?
You asshole.
You said us? Why?
Well, you paid, if you don't remember, which you probably don't, it's been quite a while.
I don't remember, no.
You paid a bunch of guys to come and do a lot of the work, and they ran their mouths, and so a couple of the other kids found out early that you were doing something.
Oh, right. Right.
It was so funny, but all right. We come in on the house, so we haven't jumped ahead as far. I'm going to kind of summarize the next few months with some events mixed in. we will start with. I'm going to start with Vanril, actually. So, yes, of everybody, Vanril probably got to know Halan the least because he spent most of that adventure sick in bed. But once you get back into Roldez and start getting on the mend, you still spend a lot of time outside the city limits, I assume.
Yeah.
And Halan approaches you one evening, and he says, Venril, I know we haven't met and talked a lot, but I have to ask a favor of you, if you would be so kind. Do you know where the anchor point is? A location in the woods called the anchor point? He seems just as confused as you. Make a survival check with advantage. Chris, you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Oh, sorry. Actually, have you leveled your character yet?
No.
At 5, does your proficiency bonus go up?
I don't know.
I think you
It did because it's 3 now.
plus 3, right?
Yeah, ours is +3.
I must then.
Yeah, so you'd have a 14. Okay. You know of it. You know roughly where it is because it was on one of your mentor's maps, like written in pen. But Halan asks if you can take him there because he has some pressing business and he's supposed to meet someone. And for the sake of brevity, I would assume you'd say sure. It's not that far away. It's like half a day's travel.
Yeah.
So it's you and your beast of the wild and Halan in Furbolg form once he's outside of Roldez, traveling through the woods to the northeast, generally. And it's kind of into the woods. It's an area that you haven't really explored too heavily because it is more than half a day's travel away from the city. You have the map from your trainer. And when you get to the clearing that's labeled as the anchor point, what you find is a giant, 23-foot tall stone block. It looks like it used to be a boulder, but it's been kind of hardened and flattened and chiseled away so that it's flat on all 4 sides. It's a big square, and affixed to the top is a 5-foot in diameter chain link. Well, it's a whole length of chain, but each chain is about 5 feet around. Big metal chains. And it runs for 30 feet off into the woods, just these chains just lying on the ground with nothing attached to the other end. And you've never seen it before. Halan is visibly surprised at what that thing is. But as you get there, an elf with dark skin and white hair, and another elf with bright red hair and a bow, kind of seemingly meld out from the trees around you. And you've seen them before. Once. They just kind of nod in your direction, and they go over and speak to Halan quietly. And then the black-skinned elf approaches you. He nods. He flips you a platinum piece and says, "For your trouble."
Thank you.
He kind of looks at you a little bit. How you holding up? I heard you had a rough couple of months ago. A rough couple months.
I'm doing much better.
You look like you're doing better. Which is odd that he would say, you look like you're doing better, implying that he saw you when you were sick.
Weird.
But he kind of gives you a wink, and he turns and goes back over to Halan. And they
Weird.
and they step into the trees, and you can travel back to Roldes without any issues.
Okay.
Now, during this time period, Avora and Dura are you're no longer employed. You're
imploring?
You're no longer employed by the crown directly, but you are brought in frequently for consultations, strategy talks. There's not a lot of threats to the city. It's not like it's on a frontier town area or anything like that. But occasionally you get scuffles in town. Avora specifically, you're brought in quite a bit to settle disputes between the Dragonborn and the regular human population of Roldes.
That makes sense.
The younger Dragonborn seem to be picking fights more and more lately. And it's starting to become a bit of a concern for the crown if they maybe made a mistake inviting them into the city. And of course, a lot of your time is, no, it's fine.
Right.
The undead attacks that used to happen quite frequently when you guys were kids haven't happened in quite some time. So the wall guards are getting pretty bored, actually. I would say, Dura, you probably still hang out on the wall quite a bit because it's where you were trained. Although technically now you outrank everybody on the wall. But there's only so much you can do in Roldes when there's no movie theaters and shit, But there is one night, like 2 or 3 months after we last ended, where where Dura's in her room. Everybody's at wherever they sleep regularly, which actually I guess is a question. Your house has enough room for all 7 of you. Do you all stay here or no? Osric, William, and Nevaeh technically can stay at the college whenever they want. Osbright has quarters at the Risen Martyr headquarters.
I think we stay at the college more.
Okay. What, Chris?
I likely spend some time here, but a lot of times I figure I'm probably spending the night out.
Just surveying,
I
exploring,
figured
traveling.
My assumption was that everybody had their own room here, but that people kind of come in.
And you had a break stuff room too, I assume. Or I remember.
Smash room.
What room?
Yeah, you go out into
Yes, a smash room.
Smash stuff in there.
That's how Dura and I get out our rage.
The anger
That's
room.
how we
I think
center
you called it.
ourselves.
Isn't that under the first floor though? Like basement level anger room?
Well, what they said they were doing
Maybe.
in the recording was they took the master bedroom so no one could claim they had the biggest room. And they turned the master
That's
bedroom
true.
into the
You're
smash room.
right. You're right. That's exactly what we did.
Smart. Good job past us. Really figured it out.
Man, 8 months ago, us was so smart.
Well, on this particular evening, as you're all wherever you would be, it happens to be one of the nights where Dura's at home, when there is a knock at the door. It's a clear spring, I think, evening, and whoever answers the door, there is a courier wearing the tabard of the royal guard, and he says, "I need to speak to Miss Dura." He looks at the paperwork. "Yes, it's urgent."
Again, say I open the door.
That's you.
All right, he hands you this piece of paper. It's rolled up, but it's not officially wax sealed or anything. It looks like it was hastily scrawled. And it just says, Dura is required at the west wall immediately. And
Fired it immediately.
And it's signed LL.
Okay, I will just... Actually, I'm going to hand him the letter back.
Okay.
Oh, well, I was just going to fucking bolt, like, monk shit.
Oh.
500 miles an hour. Like, just get there as fast as I could.
Okay.
Well, I guess I don't go with you then.
I mean, you
disappears in the room, and I'm like, okay then. I will. I'm assuming I was in the room with you, and I will head there slowly at a normal pace that isn't monk shit.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I'll throw it behind me, and then you be behind me and just catch the note and be like, oh.
Oh.
So you get to the east, or the west gate first, obviously, way before Avoro shows up.
Obviously.
And as you run up the little stairs up to the top of the gate, the little battlements on top, you see a few guards with torches lining the walls, and you see Lady Live just standing there with her arms behind her, staring out into the tree line. And you approach.
Just like slow down, kind of like just slow down and just walk up behind her and then move whoever's next to her out of the way and stand next to her. I don't say anything.
Okay. Yep. She kind of half turns in your direction.
I can picture you picking him up like a 4-year-old and just moving him.
She looks back out into the tree line and she says, "What do you see?" Make a perception check.
Has to say, what do I see?
I don't know. What do I see?
Oh, nice.
Apparently, I see a lot.
All right. It's dark. It's like a sliver of a moon, but just inside the tree line, you see the ever so brief, or infrequent, I guess, flicker of fires. It looks like possibly half a dozen campfires.
I say campfires. Half a dozen.
She
Far away.
She turns to you. She says, "This might be an issue that you need to resolve for us. Take a handful of men you can trust. Go see who that is."
Okay. Sure.
"I will remain here."
Just like a handful.
Yeah.
They're gotta be pretty small.
Yeah. And at that point, I'll say Avora comes running up, slightly out of breath. You're still on the ground level, looking up. You can see them talking up on the wall. And you know most of the guards by name, so you can pick out 4 or 5, 6 guys that you know well, that you trust.
Okay.
And you see Avora standing down there looking up at you.
All good?
Let's go. And then I'll grab them and then meet her down there and take her with us.
Okay. So, how many guys? 6? Take a bunch?
I'd say like, I don't know, she's kind of a cocky bitch, so I'd probably be like 3.
Okay. You got 3 guys, you and Avora.
Yeah.
Alright, sounds like plenty to me. I don't know.
I mean, I was gonna say just the 2 of us, but we'll see.
You could. You don't want to take guys with you.
No, I'll bring them just in case.
I was gonna say, you're being watched from the wall.
Like, we'll be like perimeter check. Like that's their job.
All right.
Yep, exactly.
So you they open the gate and you step through. And you've got just your basic gear.
Yeah, I probably would have grabbed my. Well, I ran, so I don't have my quarterstaff or.
The guards are wearing their leather armor and they've got their short swords on their hips and they have pole arms.
I'll probably take one if I need it.
It's yours now.
Yep.
That's
if I need it. Well, we gotta see what's going on first. Don't need to be too hasty.
Alright. The tree line is a couple hundred feet from the wall, and the fires are another 100 yards in past that. And as you go through the trees and the fires, you start to notice that you hear the sounds of laughter, and it is a very deep, guttural laughter. What languages do you speak? It is a very deep, guttural. Oh, all right.
Common, Draconic, and Orc.
Okay.
Oh shit! I also speak Common, Draconic, and Orc.
All right.
Hey!
You
My
realize
oversight here.
you realize that the voices that you're hearing and the language that they're speaking in is Orc.
Oh?
Oh, well, all right then.
And as you're coming to that conclusion and you're walking into the woods, suddenly two big, burly orc folks drop out of a tree. They're standing in front of you, and they say, "What do you want?" In Orcish.
And I'll say it back. What are you doing here?
You're travelers.
Where are you traveling to?
North.
Is that towards the city?
No, city's more east from here.
Where are you coming from?
They give a name of a... It sounds like a city name, but you've never heard it.
Okay.
I don't
State your
remember what it was.
business.
Perhaps you should speak to the master. Or the chief. The war chief.
Perhaps we should. Let's go.
They, your weapons.
I hold my hands up.
Not.
He points at one of the pole arms one of the guardsmen have. And you turn and look at the guards, and they are looking decidedly nervous.
When you hold your hands up, you hold them up like I'm unarmed, or hold them up like these are my weapons.
Thinking about that.
You already know the answer to the question. Why are you asking?
They remove your hands.
Great. Hey, thanks a lot.
We'll give these back when we're done.
Just tie a bag of holding over each hand.
Yeah.
Just bring it
So
up
your
to the
hands
elbow.
can't breathe.
Right. Oh, that's weird. That is a weird idea. Yeah, you just have these two bags hanging off your arm sockets. Ah, interesting. I like that.
Your arm sockets.
Quiet.
Do it with legs too.
The guards will look at you before they volunteer any weapons.
No, I say that's government property. They're keeping them. If you have nothing to hide, then there's no reason for you to be afraid of weapons.
Make a persuasion roll.
Can I help by saying absolutely not?
I don't know if that would help or hinder.
Not bad.
Oh, roll 20. You're doing that thing again, aren't you?
17.
Okay, yep, it is doing that thing again. Great. That's the thing. I definitely need to upgrade my computer. This was not happening when I was on my laptop. So, alright. Very well. And they turn and they march you into the center of the clearing. And where did I put that? Right here. Bum, bum, bum. You probably can't see anything. So I'm just gonna turn the lighting off so people can see it. Boink. And as you approach into the clearing from this direction, I put you on the right layer. Perfect. There are the two orcs that are with you, leading the way. And I'm not going to drag a bunch of guards on there for this right now. I will if it turns to that. And he stops here and he yells, "Gordak! Visitors from the city!" And you hear, "What?" A very large orc with like face tattoos and stuff metal brackets around his tusks.
Ah!
Marches forward.
Dara's just gonna look at him and not say it, but she just think like that's dope. Like that's cool. Like I want
That's
that.
dope! I really just wanted to go,
Who would never say it like that?
And he crosses his huge arms in front of him and he goes,
dope.
"You are from the city?" And he points back toward Raldez.
Yes, we are. On behalf of the government.
"Why are you here?"
Because there was fire started too close to where the city wall is. So were told to come investigate.
He looks around at his camp. "I see no danger. My men are tending the fires. There will be no burning of trees. Your city's walls are safe. What's the problem?"
Would I know if anyone on the wall, are they all like combat people, like they wouldn't be mages? Because I'm wondering if there would be someone that would have sending, so we could communicate with Lady Lithe. That would have taken them.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. There'd be a few, mage people stationed on the wall just for that purpose, if nothing else.
Okay, so I'll just tell them to give Lady Lithe a rundown of the situation and see how she wants to proceed.
Okay.
Probably on the walk there.
Okay. He
in charge to make executive decisions. Come on.
He comes back with a response saying, "She's waiting to see how you handle it." Chris is exactly right.
How does she want it handled? Doesn't
Wants
seem
you
to
to
be
make
an
the
issue.
decision.
This kind of thing hasn't happened before since you've been on the wall. You've had the occasional orc come through Raldez. There's a few that even live there, but this is the first decent-sized warband that you've ever encountered.
I'm going to ask him, why are you heading where you're headed?
We traveled north. We heard rumors of disturbances. We wish to
Disturbances.
partake in the action.
Disturbances of what? Of what nature?
Some form of battle. Some hostile forces marching south. We wish to investigate and dominate.
Am I mixing up games again?
You might be.
I knew something about that.
I don't think I've laid out anything on this yet that I can recall.
Okay.
Is your city well stocked?
I believe so. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Answer that question.
I want to.
We'll stop here, right? No.
Yeah, great. I want to stop or excuse myself for a minute and talk to the person that has sending.
Okay.
And do I know anything about the situation up north? Because that depends on.
The furthest north you guys have been is Kimberlane, and that was, besides the Aboleth, there wasn't really anything. There was like a wild hydra at one point. There's a lot of north past that.
But there's no like war going on or something.
No, make a history, I guess, is the closest thing to geography.
18.
Okay, you know that like
Oh, never mind.
you know that far to the north, it gets to be more like a cold climate, and there's barbarians that hang out up there. You know that there's a few elf tribes that live up there. And even beyond that, you have no idea. You do know that there used to be some orc tribes in this area, but a lot of the orcs had been driven away in the past.
I asked him, are you planning on leaving in the morning?
We prefer to travel at night, but my men wanted to take a rest to hunt and resupply.
Did you already resupply?
Well, we are working on it, but if your city is well stocked, perhaps we could initiate a trade.
It's already laid out, so are places like that open?
Probably not.
Okay, so I would just tell him that nothing's open right now, so you would have to wait until the morning, so you would be better off getting your resources elsewhere. What were you thinking of trading?
We have coin.
Oh,
We're not barbarians.
I didn't think you were. I just didn't know if you had information already.
That's the barbarian.
Do I see anyone that looks like... Does it look like they've been fighting, or it look like what? Or actually, can I make an insight check to see if he's being forthright?
Sure.
$22.
I mean, he's not giving off any body language that implies he's hiding anything.
Okay.
He does seem to have seen... Really, Cat? His fair share of fighting, and most of his men look like they've, been in scraps before, but no one's actively bleeding, no one's bandaged up or anything like that.
Okay. I just kind of look at Evora, and I'm like, I don't see a problem here. And the trees don't look like the fires don't look like they're too close to trees.
No, and they're being tended. The orcs are managing the fires just fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna look back at you and tell you that it's your call. I'm following your lead here. You were the one called.
At 5th level, I think they would only have so many spells. Okay, I'll have the second person. I'll ask him, what supplies do you need specifically?
Mostly rations.
Rations.
Some basic ropes and tools would help. We went through some stuff getting here. You can never have too much rope.
If you got this stuff, would you pack up and leave, or would you still spend the night?
We always prefer to travel at night.
Okay. I'm gonna have the person send Lady Life one more message and say, as close as they can, they need supplies and then they'll move. What can you offer? Or like, how do you want to proceed? Because I don't want to make 5,000 trips of like, oh, look at you.
Right.
Like, oh. So.
All right. The reply comes back. How much do they need? And he sees that you're communicating with this mage. What's the short distance one? Isn't sending? One of them's only a cantrip, I thought.
There is one that's a cantrip, but I don't. Is
the
it
range
message?
might be too far.
I think message is a cantrip.
Oh yeah, that's too short.
120 feet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna assume that they have some kind of a communication two-way radio. No, I'm not gonna worry too much about it.
They're on the walkie-talkie. Shh, they need supplies. Over.
Yeah.
Here's a prize alert.
Yeah.
He sees that you're talking to this guy back and forth, and he switches to common.
Oh.
Slightly broken common, and he goes,
If you need a list, I can get you one.
Mm-hmm.
That would be helpful to get you on your way, if that's what you would prefer.
Of course. I assume you don't want a group of men this size trouncing around your city.
Oh, we don't. We don't care
Not
about
particularly.
a group of men trouncing around our city. It's more of, it looks like a danger, so treat it like a danger, but...
he kind of looks at you two, and he says,
You are very brave approaching a warband such as this with no information as to who we are.
We have nothing to fear here.
What if we had meant you harm?
And we would
we
have
would've-
fought you.
Back.
Plus, as you can see, we have people who can communicate and get back up. And I just kind of look at myself like I know what you go through. Not as to the extent, but I'm like, I get it a lot. I understand.
He's kind of sizing you up.
He says, I bet you could throw a punch with arms like that.
I can throw multiple.
You have no idea.
You're cute, wanna breed?
He says.
Stop!
He puts his big meaty fists on his hips and he goes, "Try to hit me."
I'll do it.
Go for it. Make an attack roll.
Absolutely.
An unarmed strike.
Absolutely.
Not your quarterstaff.
No!
Bro, you crit fail!
You go to wind up and you just like step on a loose rock and you kind of lose your footing and you land on your ass. And he laughs. He just uproariously laughs, and then the whole camp.
I'm sorry. I will also laugh, and then I will straighten my face very quickly and help
He
him.
holds his hand out to help you out.
Okay.
Can I, as he's helping me up, can I try and, because technically I get 2 attacks, can I try and throw him over my shoulder?
Yeah, go for it.
This is gonna be so bad.
It's like your classic martial arts movie where he goes to give you a handshake, and instead of taking his hand, you put your foot up and flip him over.
Should I just do like strength or dex?
Just an unarmed strike. Another unarmed strike is fine. What did you do?
I hate everything. I got a 9. Why am I doing good on like communicating?
You rolled a 1, and then a 2!
I am so good at communicating.
He says,
Not a communicator.
He says, "What you lack in ability, you make up for in heart." I like it.
I will get up and just be like, whatever.
He kind of grabs both of your hands and just lifts you up, puts you onto your feet.
Thanks.
I wish I was there for this orc flirtation ritual.
I'm so mad. I cannot believe that. Makes for good entertainment, but goddamn.
But he quickly draws up a list in poorly spelled common, and he hands it to the caster guy. He says, "We will be here until you return."
Okay. So I'll wait for him to send the message and get a response. That way we know we can go back and the shit will be ready. And not like, here's our list, and she's like, we don't have that shit. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a bit of a delay. You get a message directly to yourself from Lady Lithe in your head. It says, "It's going to take about 30 minutes to get everything together. If they have 150 gold, that would be appreciated."
Ask him if he has 150 gold, and if he doesn't, I will pay for it. I don't say that back to her. I'm gonna ask.
Right. He says, "Of course." He says, "Luzo, 150 gold. We will be on our way tonight." And this other orc, this rather manly woman, walks over with a pouch, and she counts very slowly out 150 coins. And there's only like 170 coins in the bag, so they just keep their 20 and give you the bag. And by the time she's done counting it out, you hear a wagon and a horse coming out of you hear the front gates open. You're close enough that you can hear them. And a horse and cart come riding out with 2 more guards. And they get to the edge of the trees, and then it gets a little too congested for the wagon. But the orcs, a couple of guys, march out there. And as they approach the wagon, you can see the guards kind of back away.
Wagon and bring it right up.
Alright, the orcs are able to grab what they need. It's a bunch of various little knickknacks and stuff. And he says, "Thank you, small one. You have sped up our journey.
Anytime.
Keep working on that arm. You'll get there someday."
Got any tips?
Oh,
Yeah, you want to lead with your right.
Okay. That's the mistake I
what
made.
if she's left-handed?
It does not matter. Lead with your right.
He claps you on the shoulder. Says, "Perhaps we will meet again someday." Bump, bump.
My name's Dura, if you're ever looking.
Dora, I am Gordok.
Bump.
Chief Gordok of the Trusk glad. I don't know.
I really appreciate that you just made that clan name up on the spot.
Not so much made up.
Not really made up. Is someone there? Because, I'll go talk to them. Anyway.
But they will start packing up. He starts barking orders in Orcish.
Perfect.
And, all right. That's it.
I will leave.
What was your moment in
Okay,
the spotlight?
bye.
Yeah. All right.
I will put my arm around your shoulder as we're walking away and laugh very loudly.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna keep walking straight face. I'm not gonna
Get them digits, son!
No.
You know he's totally watching you walk away, right?
You get back to the wall, and you see Eli's still standing there. Actually, she's on the ground floor when the gate opens. She's the first person you see, just kind of standing as the gate opens. Again, arms crossed behind her back.
I'm gonna elbow Avora and say, "Don't tell her what happened."
Make a zipper across my face. Actually, just button it. And then I will walk to the side so that she can talk to her since this is her mission.
She kind of nods. Says, "Well done."
Thank you.
And then she just turns and walks off.
I'll give whoever the money, and I'll.
Yeah, there's a man with her that looks like a merchant guy. Looks like he got woken up in the middle of the night.
Okay.
He still had his nightcap on, but he hastily threw his clothes on. But he gladly takes the money.
Give him 50 gold.
No, I'm gonna do it.
All right. Meanwhile, Osbright has a different eventful few months. A few weeks after you got back, so we're kind of rewinding time a little bit. You are summoned to Redgrave's office. Been there a few times. Let's see, what do I have? We're going to use, that. It's kind of a cathedral-y looking office. No, I'm not completely going crazy with NPCs in the image. But I do like the backdrops just for the atmosphere. My music keeps stopping. Gosh darn it.
Well, Tony, what are you doing?
No, I keep turning it off. I forgot to loop it.
No, Roll20 just is loading and loading and loading and loading for me.
Yeah. Pay no attention to the tone of the music. I just really like this music. So she summons you to her office, and I assume you enter. Yeah. You get summoned to Redgrave's office. The door is closed. There is a receptionist type guy in the hallway outside. And Paige, and he sees you approach, and he says, he nods, goes and does a secret knock on the door, and it opens, and he kind of seems surprised that he didn't have to open it, and she's standing right there, dressed up in her full gear. It's the middle of the day anyway, so it's not unusual. And she says, Sir Osbright. I don't know if you'd have a sir, but I'm going to go with it. Enter, please. And she motions to a chair in front of her desk. And she goes around the other side of it. And on her desk is the map that you've seen a few times before. And you see a little statue or rolled as is, little stone carved monument. And you see where Kimberlane is, and you see some little Risk board game style troop dots around there. And she says, Oswald, I have a mission for you. I know you are busy with your new house project and your siblings and other entertaining fun things, but duty calls. We are going to follow up with the Kimberlane operation. And because you've been there, and because you know the town, and you know somewhat the facility, I'm putting you in charge of this operation. You will take a dozen of our new recruits, as well as 2 of the veterans, and 10 members of the Royal Engineer Corps. I want you to travel there, get them set up, get a infrastructure, a rapport with the town going, and once operations are underway, I expect you to come back. We're going to set up an outpost in Kimberlane. We're not going to move the main office. We're going to stay here in Roldes for now. But, as I said, because you have knowledge of the area, we want you, or I would like you to lead this portion of the expedition. Should not take more than a month, 2 at most. Very well. Take what you need. If you have any need of supplies, see Quartermaster Spikebeard. I don't know. I just threw that out there. He's got spikes for a beard. Any questions? Very well. Sir Yorick and Sir Forrestal will be going with you. I need to make notes. I already forgot what I said.
Of all these names you just made up?
Yeah. Oh, I'll get it. Just make a little text document right here.
You can always go back and listen.
Oh, yeah. I hate when I'm at work and I come up with these great names and then I don't have anything to write them down on because I'm walking between aisles and working. Happens all the time. And then when I'm at the computer, I'm like, I can't think of any names.
I have sticky notes on my desk of names I come across that I just scribble them down, so there's a weird list of names at my desk.
Nice.
You know your phone has a notes option.
You know my phone is in my locker at work, right?
You don't keep it in your pocket?
No, I keep my
it belongs in your
my iPod in my pocket. Technically, I've been told you can get in trouble if you have your phone on you at work.
All of my thoughts come to me before I get out of bed, and they go away.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah, I have that too. So you gather the men that are being sent. They already know. They're planning to leave in the following morning. You get told the time frame, whatever. By road, it's 3 days I think it takes to get there. But with a group this size, it's going to take a little bit longer. The only real eventful moment that happens during all this is more just what happens during the few months' time. But on the first night of travel, as you've got your camp set up, which is almost as big as that orc camp just now, you're sitting at the tent with Yorick and Forrestal. And Forrestal is this big burly guy with short cropped gray hair and a big handlebar mustache and tattoos all up one arm. Battle scar on his left cheek, stopping just short of his eye. And
Ex-biker paladin.
Kinda, yeah. And he says, he claps you on the shoulder as you're sitting down by the fire. And he goes, Rosbright, I don't know much about you, but you've certainly caught the lady's eye.
Don't you go out well.
Lady Redgrave, of course. I've been serving this order 40 years now.
I think you're kind of cute.
He claps you on the armor again, and he goes and sits down. Yeah.
I appreciate that bit that you added in there.
I'm just trying to have a little scene for everybody. That's all I'm doing with this game. So, you are gone for the next 2 months. You get to the town, you find that they've elected a new mayor since you left. It is, in fact, well, when you go back and listen, Amanda, you'll be like, oh yeah, that was half the game, was them trying to decide who was going to be mayor. The guy that was the mayor's assistant is now the new mayor. He recognizes you. He's a little shocked at the number of soldiers that are marching into town, but the blacksmith in the area is pleased because it's a lot more business. And as yes, and there's a lot of I mean, they're a dead end road, so there wasn't really a lot of travelers and stuff through here. But now, with the news of this outpost being renovated and refit, they realize they're going to have a lot more traffic. Maybe the economy will start getting a jump. The place is still slightly flooded, and the engineers are a little annoyed by the work it's going to take to get the flooding out of that lower floor. There were a lot of side passages that were overgrown or collapsed, but they dig straight into it. And yeah, you did. And you carried all the little babies in the tank out.
Save the babies.
It's all coming back to you now.
Do they have human babies in a tank?
Oh yeah, you didn't see that. I don't know if I still have the map. No, I don't. So I can't show Chris the little babies floating in the tank.
Sounds unsettling.
It was.
You're not wrong.
Wet, gooey babies, fish babies.
Vora was holding like 6 of them.
Yeah. And and then the townspeople were running over going, hey, that's my kid. And so someone made the joke, babies, get your babies here. Get your missing babies.
Got babies for sale.
I just noticed Amanda's name is bigger than the gray box that they give you to put your name in.
You're welcome. That's because I added to it.
I see that.
Chamberlain.
Because when you did that in the last recording, you were like, see, I was breaking down, my name's longer than yours again. Alright. But you're gone for a couple months. So you're kept busy. So, speaking of the mind control
It
fish.
just says Dura.
Oh, why not?
Babies.
No, it totally makes sense.
We have...
Speaking of the mind control fish.
Speaking of the mind control fish, Nevaeh's band...
The mind control fish.
It's not.
No, it's even better. They're called psychic fish. The P's are silent.
The full name includes the piece of island.
No. Their logos are just 2 giant letter P's superimposed over each other. And this was against Nevaeh's better judgment or wishes. They outnumbered her, so they decided psychic fish was the only way to go.
She continues to threaten to leave and make them find a new singer.
And the dumber band member, the guy, the blonde guy on the right in the back, because the P's are silent, he pronounces it psychic hish because he doesn't understand.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, psychic fish! It's like death metal when they come up.
Amazing.
Well, their lead song is about this psychic fish that controls an entire town, and then, this party of adventurers storms in and just dispatches everyone in the town to get to the psychic fish. This is a bloody song.
Genius. I love it.
I am swearing to every single one of the gods on board solo.
You did it. Go back and
I
listen
will
to
come
that.
to every single show.
Psychic fish!
I like that one guy's yelling, psychic fish!
Psychic fish! No, it's fish. But you said the P's are silent. Yeah, dude. Never mind.
Get with the program, guy.
So one day while you're performing with Psychic Fish. After the show is over and people are milling about, clapping and cheering and whatnot, a man approaches you, and he has is a very stylish looking. Oh, why is he so small? You're bigger than that man.
Why is he so skinny?
He comes up to you, and he has.
His name is Inigo Montoya.
His name is Enrico.
Ooh, Enrico.
And Enrico extends his hand and he says, "You must be Psychic Fish."
It's Ish, actually.
I have heard this song from where I traveled far and wide, and I have come to run your College of Music. Don't worry, I've done all the paperwork. I've taken care of everything.
I was gonna say, I like imagining that he didn't do anything. Just came in. He's like, I'm in charge now.
I am a composer of some renown where I am from, and I have come here because your song is enthralling. And I simply had to be a part of it.
Amazing.
I hear they're looking for a new singer.
No, you misunderstand. I have come to be the headmaster of the Bard colleges. All of the Bard colleges, see.
All of them? Jesus.
Then, unfortunately, that wouldn't be my decision. You would have
I am not here to request it from you. I've already taken care of all of the paperwork you see.
Not a job interview.
You're not listening to me. I'm introducing myself as a courtesy because you are Psychic Fish. And it is because of the name Psychic Fish this song brought me to you.
It brought me to tears.
I have to ask, does Psychic Fish sound anything like regular fish?
I don't know what they actually sound like. So I can't tell you.
Or like
I like the idea of them just flopping around on stage, though.
So imagine a bunch of people playing solos from different songs at the same time.
Yes, then that is probably exactly what they sound like.
Yes! Like they all think they're solo artists. But then,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
oh God, I love it. That's amazing.
they're doing so well because I'm part of the College of Grammar, right?
And so, the College of the Bards is removed from the Mage College. And they begin a construction project next door. I mean, it's not huge, and a lot of the Mage College campus is still used for training and stuff. But this guy kind of takes over, and you see Garen around, and Garen's looking at him with a raised eyebrow at the way things are being run. But it's also a lot off his plate, so he doesn't seem too terribly upset. Because if you remember, at the beginning of TSNG, there were no Bard colleges at all, and they didn't really know what to do with you. So, as the stories are getting out, more and more people are coming to train, and the school's starting to be a little strange, so... This is my Mage College map that I found.
Ooh. Totally, definitely made from scratch, right?
I didn't make it, no. Because
somebody had to make it.
Because we can start with the roof. And we can go down a level. Or we can go all the way to second basement. The 6 sides. Yeah, this is first basement.
Is that where they keep second breakfast?
Yes.
Second basement?
So I have lots of
It's where you get to second base during second breakfast in the second basement.
Yeah. You can see there's a lot of dormitory rooms and stuff in this, and a lot of library space.
I probably could see it if it would ever load.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just like flipping through them so
No,
fast.
you're fine. It's fine. It's funny.
And as we zip over to the mage school, we find ourselves dealing with Osric now. We have the Osric moment of the night.
Yes.
You are sitting at a desk. You're at a desk. You're in the forbidden wing of the library. So I believe that would probably be in this first basement library down here. This big one.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got your own little quarter. Let's say it's this room up here. I'm going to put you there. I'm going to go like this. Put you at the desk. Maybe we'll zoom in a little bit. And we'll shift ping. There you are. You're sitting at a desk. You have 3 books. Two closed beside you and one that's open. All 3 of them look like they were inked in blood. The leather is black and shriveled and looks like it's stitched skins of some sort. The page you're on just has an anatomy chart and a bunch of runes coming off of it. And you're just poring over the book. And you hear a set of footprints coming down the hall. Slowly. Let's see, where's the token? There she is. Clomp. 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 And she approaches... Yes, she's a centaur. I'm going to play this one, because it's cooler. She approaches the side of the table as you're looking over the book. And she just kind of watches you study for a moment. She looks down. And you kind of find it hard to concentrate when she's standing there, I would assume.
Yeah.
Got a little bit. And as you're looking, she reaches down and she takes the front of the book and she slowly closes it. And she leaves her hand on the lid of the book. She puts her other hand on your shoulder to get your attention. And she says, Osric, what do you intend to get out of this line of study?
Want to solve the riddles of life and death.
She pulls out a chair. She sits down. The act of sitting down is almost, bringing her down to your level. In all the times that you've interacted with her, most of the time she never sits, right? It's always, I'm standing, you're sitting, I'm the tall one in this room. That power dynamic that she seems to live on. But as she's having this conversation with you, she pulls out a chair and she sits down. So she's down to your level. And she still has one hand on the book, closed. She says, I've been giving it some thought, and I don't think you understand what you're toying with. I think you might have the wrong impression. I gave you access to this library because I hoped you would come to this conclusion on your own. You have dove headfirst with some might call reckless abandon. Osric, come with me.
Okay.
And without going into horrendous detail, you are invited to participate in a couple experiments, just the 2 of you, that I think the rest of the party would probably question that you're even still sane. Not like mind-fucking stuff, but just like, I'm going to kill this rat. Now we're going to animate it. Just like
Okay.
things like that. Little
fun.
It's for fun. Yeah, you basically
It's
play around with
science.
real necromancy. I mean, you've been casting necromancy spells, but you start really messing with it. And the whole time she's watching you, and she tries to get into your head a little bit. She's like, if you think that you've brought this rat back to life, all you've done is animated it. And she just basically explains, you're not mastering life and death, you're just reanimating dead tissue as a tool. And would you want that to be your, how would you feel about it? She's basically dissuading you because she seems to think that you want to learn it for the wrong reasons.
Makes some good points. But death and darkness are all I've ever known. I was born into death.
If you follow this path for too long, death is all you understand. The life part ceases to become important. And it will change who you are forever. And there's an emphasis on the word forever. She says, Osric, I mentioned this to you once before. You need to seriously think about this path you're on. You're getting very close to a point of no return. It's not too late to change your focus. And I advise it of you.
Okay, well, let's say I wanted to change. How would I begin to even do that?
As you express that you have an interest in it, her tone changes, and she immediately becomes a little bit not livelier. She's never lively. I guess that's the closest word I can think of. She just runs you down like. Just leave right there. She just runs you down. No.
She finds a car and drives it.
She just drives over. There we go. No. So she talks you through some guidelines, gives you a book on respecking and how to do it, getting you out of necromancy for dummies, just a bunch of different guides on how to change your magic study, and that literally takes you the next just 3 solid months of just I have to change this focus. As this is happening, Garen notices that you've stopped hanging out in the dark sections of the library. And where up until now he's kind of avoided you a little bit.
Because I'm a creep.
Yeah. As you start messing with the new schools of magic, he starts to actually actively get involved in your studies, and you've suddenly become like the prime focus. Like he saw the glimmer of hope that you were savable and just dove in.
Okay, cool.
The offside of it is you see a lot less of Lady Live, but probably for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you see her around, when no one else is looking, she'll give you a wink.
Uh-huh.
And Garen will say things like, I'm so glad you've come around, Osric. She scares me. She's a dangerous influence. But it's good to see that you're coming around. You're realizing the errors of messing with those dark forces.
Yeah, I suppose it was a path to my own destruction eventually, so.
Now, keep in mind, you do still have the Animate Dead spell in your spellbook.
Okay.
Do not remove that.
Alright.
I think any mage can take it anyway. You just don't have all the other benefits from it, but you still have the spells that you did have. That's why I'm giving you the extra spells from all the retraining and the constant studying.
Mm-hmm. Right. I already added the ones I wanted to my spellbook, so.
Okay. Hope that was a sufficient force of wanting to change.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Good. I didn't want to step on your character's idea.
Nope.
Alright, who have I not dealt with yet? Oh, of course, William. William. So you are the one with the least amount of ties to anything, really. You still have the church that you hang out with regularly. And go that. I like that one. Ooh, listen to that. I love that music. Alright. So you still study at the church, and you still... You have not seen Tristan. I know that was the last thing you were looking for in the previous game. It was trying to find him. He seems to be, like, gone from the city itself. No one's seen him in since you got back from Kimberlane. And if you ask Lady Lythe about it, she dodges the question. What would you be doing, you think?
Primarily working at the church, helping with charity work or healing the sick or wounded as available. And if there's time, just generally researching the mysteries of the whatever I can find of the Blessed Daughter. That was it, correct?
Yep. You also get the occasional side gig with Psychic Fish. They let you up on stage now.
It's Psychic Hish.
It's like Psychic Fish.
Woo! Psychic Hish!
You see your little ghostly spirit girl only about once a week. Usually when you least expect it. Like, when you're just about to climb into bed at night, you'll turn and she'll be sitting at the end of your bed, just kicking her feet, and smiling. When you're doing a lot of research about the Blessed Daughter, you feel more than hear, like a distant giggling, like a child playing. But like I said, you don't see her, you just kind of hear it, like it's in the next room, but if you go check the next room, there's nobody there. And no one else heard the giggling. As far as those ritual spells you want, you mentioned in the previous recording that you wanted water breathing, which Crazy Bob is able to get his hands on one, and he contacts you, and he says it's going to be 300 gold if you have it, but he has the spell. So you can grab that.
Yeah, I have 44 gold.
So in the party, the party treasure, Dura took her party treasure, Avora took her party treasure, Nevea took her party treasure. The rest of that hasn't been divided up yet.
Right, so you have plenty of gold.
So you have a fourth of what's in there, I believe.
Okay, that's a lot of calculating. Guess
I can do that while you talk if you want.
Okay, so basically, yes, I can afford it, I guess, then. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any other things you'd want to pick up?
Well, what does he actually have available right now?
Let's find out!
Like, everything.
A new car!
A new car! Well, I had that random store table, so let's see what he's got today. If I still have the bookmark. Magic Shop Item Generator. We'll go large city. And generate. Okay, what are you looking for? What kind of things are you looking for? Oh, these are real expensive. Well, you don't want the chain armors. You don't want the flail or javelin. There's a ring that he says is of necrotic resistance, but it's 6,000 gold, which I think is out of your price range. He says, "What's your price range?" I got stuff. What do you? How much can you spend?
A few hundred, the most for the moment, but maybe sometime.
On a scroll of continual flame? That's 250.
Is that a
You have that.
I don't believe it is.
well, primarily ritual spells that
Yeah, they don't tell me on here which ones are rituals.
okay.
Is enhance ability? Probably not. Featherfall. Scroll of Featherfall. Scroll of Identify. That is a ritual, I believe.
Ooh, identify.
I think that is, right?
Yeah. Does anyone else have that currently?
Identify? I do not know.
Aldrich? Nevaeh?
I'm not there.
I think he's just asking.
Yeah, but he would know. He would know if you had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Let me see. I have Identify as a spell, yeah.
Okay.
Magic
yeah.
Scroll of Magic Weapon. Wand of the War Mage. That's way out of your price range. Sorry, friend.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like
Alright, do you want me to... Those of you who haven't taken party treasure yet, write this down.
Okay.
Is everybody ready? 15, Yep. What's above gold? Words?
Platinum.
Thank you! Yeah, 15 PPs, 1,283 gold.
Psychic fish?
Yes. 1,871 silver.
871. Wait, whack from. Okay.
And 922 copper.
922. Okay.
So that's for who? Everybody except me and Dura?
Yeah, and Nevaeh, I believe, wrote hers down already, too. At least she said that you did in the recording.
You said I did, but
Yes.
it's not on my character sheet.
Did you spend some of it?
Not as... I only have 41 gold pieces written down on my character sheet, so...
Okay, well that's how much I have too, so add it to your...
Can you just post it in chat? I missed half of that.
No, absolutely not. You have to hear it once and that is your only option. Yeah, hold on. Okay, so let's see. You can see my name 100 times. Hold on. I can type good. I type for a living.
What happened? Why is the map orange?
You make. There. That's what everybody has, and now I'm gonna take the money out of the party treasure. So write it down now or forever hold your peace.
I guess I deleted the magic shop. Just an empty space now. Weird.
Sucks.
Okay, so it looks like I need to copy or transcribe the spell then.
Yes, you add it to your book, right?
Yeah. Okay, so that's another 150 for that.
For information purposes, because I forget, who holds the bag of holding?
I believe we said you did. In the recording, it was like, well, you have it written down, you're keeping track of the treasure, so you have the bag.
Yeah, I'm just putting it, I'm leaving it in the party treasure, but just putting it that it's on my character. Okie doke.
Oh yeah, if he doesn't have any other ritual spells, then I'm probably not interested.
Doesn't currently, but if you have one in particular that you want, he can look for it.
Sure.
Anyone else's character sheet say that they're over carrying capacity now?
Yeah, that'll happen.
Mine will never say that. Just uncheck some of those boxes.
This website, 5e Magic Shop, it has a button that says price check. So you can type in the name of the item and see what it costs. And when you click on it, it says price check on aisle 3.
Amazing.
Alright, so those of you who bought magic weapons or mundane, masterwork weapons and wanted to have them enchanted, which is just Nivea and Dura.
I have a glaive +1. Does that count?
Already magic. You don't need to enchant it.
Fine.
But the masterwork weapons can be enchanted for 800 gold.
Well, that's not too bad.
No. Just to +1s.
Right.
If you have it and you want to do it.
Keep mine the way it is.
Okay.
Don't want magic.
I don't want to spend that much money in case we need it.
I can pitch in some towards your weapon.
I really don't need it. It's fine.
Okay, doke. I don't know,
As
man.
you saw the other day, my fists are pretty fucking incredible.
That's true. You are, in fact, an unstoppable force.
That was so funny. That was
Oh
great.
my god, that was magical.
Oh man.
I suppose comprehend languages might be useful.
Let me look for that for you.
I don't know why Dara and I have it covered with Draconic Coward.
Hey, it worked in our favor.
I mean, I guess.
Oops. Where did
Not one.
There it is.
Yeah,
So-
at one time.
If you ask for that and you leave it to him to look for, then he's able to get one for you after a month's wait for 130 gold.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
And detect magic. Okay.
Detect magic. That should be pretty easy to get. Let's see. That's 110 gold he's able to come up with to get that one.
Okay, so I'd be able to get both of them?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Because we're basically having 6 months go by, it's easy to assume that you were able to come up with that stuff by the end of that time period.
Okay, yeah. Okay, spending 340 gold then to get those and transcribe them.
Now, jumping back to Osric for a second, do you think you, personality-wise, would change switching schools?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think, yeah. I've seen the error of my ways and I want to change completely.
All the goth sheets in your room come down and
Yeah.
want to change your token.
You know, walk in and be like, who the fuck lives in
I
this?
said what I want my new
This
token to be
picture-
in TSNG Forge
Where
channel.
do all your Stevie Nicks
Okay,
posters go?
so it's a gradual
Like
change
Uncle
for those of
Women's.
you. For those of you staying at the house, it's a gradual change. You kind of, if you stop and think about it, you notice, but it's
Right.
over the course of a few weeks. So when
Right,
Osbright
right.
comes back after being gone for 2 months,
It'll be obvious.
it's like Osric is a new person.
Mm.
He's not wearing black from head to toe. He's repainted his room
Wait.
to be a normal color.
We all have to leave our high school goth phase eventually, okay?
Yeah.
Some of us it takes longer than others.
Well, I'm only like 19, so it's not like I have to use that
That's
much in
true.
life.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're right on track.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything that they would probably want to accomplish in a 6 month
I didn't get a
timeframe?
cutscene.
Well, you got something coming.
Oh, okay.
Yours is the leading to the whole next arc. So, you go last.
You hear that, guys? I'm the favorite.
Means you're going to be talking a lot.
I didn't have a lot for you, Chris. I'm sorry. I couldn't think of anything So nothing? Alright.
Oh, and speak with animals, I guess.
Ooh, let's see. What can I get for that? Speak with animals.
That's a good one. Good call.
It's another 120.
Okay.
He has regular potions of healing for anybody who wants them. They're 50 gold apiece.
Yeah, I will take 6 to put in the party in the bag of holding.
Okay.
So that's 300 gold. What did I just say? 6?
Yeah, I think so.
And 2 on my... Okay. So I'm gonna put those 6, so we have 7 in the party treasure now. No, 8 now.
You better not. Because you're the one who has the bag.
That's alright. I'm the one that's gonna live the longest, so...
Ooh,
It's cool.
Leo Munch Tiny. Oh, that would be nice.
I got all them hit points, baby!
Now, Chris, you have that tome that you can have people sign their names in?
Yeah.
And you get instant communication with them? How many people can you do that with?
Let me see. Guess I
That's fucking awesome.
See, like our Professor X.
So 4.
Mm.
4?
Yeah.
Alright. So keep that in mind.
Okay, so from now on, anything that's in the party treasure is assumed to be in the bag of holding.
Right.
Unless we have it. So I'm gonna edit this.
Tune to the bell of dwarven kind.
That
No.
is coming up
Want
as
it?
well. Yeah, who wants to...
Oh.
If anybody wants to attune to that, who wants to attune to it? Because it doesn't officially have any abilities yet. If you don't remember, you know what it is. You know that it's an artifact to an ancient dwarven king, but it's a dormant belt that Garen seems to think you have to perform heroic deeds to wake it up. But you have to be attuned to it
That makes
first.
sense. Right.
And you still might grow a beard. Yeah, yeah, you might grow the beard whether or not you get the powers from it.
Beard, so I don't want it.
I don't know. That
Alright.
dude might be into beards.
So
Well, I'm not into
from now
beards, so
on,
it's fine.
from now on, the bag of holding has the first 2 items are the chest and the bag of holding. So anything listed underneath those items is what's going to be on those items. So if you add something and you want it to be on the chest, make sure you put it under chest or wagon.
Yeah, you do have a barn with a horse and a wagon in it.
Sure.
Oh,
Well, I assume the wagon is for traveling, so if we're out traveling somewhere and people put something on the wagon, they can just put it. Oh, see, that's pretty cool. There you go.
That would be helpful.
Yeah. Like that. That's what I was going for.
Do you want to move the 5 days of rations into the wagon or keep it in the bag of holding?
Just keep it in the bag for now. If we travel, we can move it to the wagon.
So have we seen Dravok anytime recently?
no. And, with the Bard College moved, Miranda shows up briefly just to check out what they've done to it. When Enrico spots her at one point from afar, and he seems to be rather interested, she disappears around a corner. But he's very ever-present around the school. And he is always so loud and so garish and so Spanish.
It sounds familiar. Someone really missed that accent.
Yep.
Fun, I like that one. No, I like it so much.
We never general to the admiral, did we?
Nope.
What did we not do?
Yeah, it's the TSNG, I mean, the Forgotten Realms game.
We saved your ears, is what we did.
Oh dear.
No, we didn't save anybody's ears. Poor Jim didn't get to hear it. I made that nice token of Colonel Sanders and everything. That's alright, he's still around here somewhere. I can probably... Now that I know Jim has a spell that can make him change worlds. Oh no. Alright. So...
Anyway, I'm looking for people to sign my book.
They signed my charter.
So how many
You might not just want to throw all 4 of them away like that. You want people that you need to get in touch with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can change it anytime. He can just touch the name and it erases.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you can. As an action, you can magically erase the name on the page by touching the name on it.
Okay.
Never accidentally touch your book.
Alright. And it goes up equal... Oh, it's just a charisma modifier. Okay. So until you raise your charisma, it'll stay at the number that it is. That's still pretty powerful. Is there any NPCs that you would want before you start having party members signing off in it?
Not right now. I don't.
One of the clerics that you interact with or anything?
I guess I might have one of them who I work with at the church, even though I haven't really had scenes with specific people. Well, I might have her sign later if she sends us somewhere, but she's not someone I would normally want to talk to.
Besides the, Osric and Dura had obviously direct interactions with her. The rest of you, I don't think, even see her. Well, if you're on the college campus, you might spot her from afar. Or if you work at the palace, you definitely see her wandering about. But she has not shown up at the house. She hasn't gone out of her way to interact with any of the rest of you in any meaningful way. So, we get to the moment... Well, alright. Belt. Yes, no? Who?
Who wants the ZZ Top look?
Why say lot word when few word do trick?
We have no idea what it does.
You do. It's in a journal. You can look at what it will eventually do.
But it won't unlock until you've been heroic with it.
Right. It raises your con, and it gives you interaction with dwarves, I think.
Oh yeah, you get to speak Dwarvish.
Oh, you speak Dwarvish.
It's mostly the con bonus.
I don't really need the con.
I will take it.
It gives you poison resistance, which is nice.
Oh, dark vision. Yeah, that's right.
I have that too.
I will take it. I will take the belt.
All right.
Yeah,
so
that's a good
return to
idea.
the belt. Don't change anything. Just make sure you know that it's on you.
Raise your AC.
You're gonna wait.
Yeah, let me take it out of the...
Yeah, right? Barbarian,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Your AC's based on your con and your dex.
Alright, let's see. Let me take this.
Gonna have to
That's
learn to
fine.
shave.
Yeah. She's
fine.
scales, so she's probably not gonna... Ooh, interesting.
I was gonna say a bearded dragonborn. That would be odd.
Oh, yeah, it'd be like the little...
It will be amazing.
Yeah, could be.
Unless you go with scale beard.
Yeah.
Ah, yes!
They can't be Skelbeard.
No one said the beard has to be made of hair.
That's right. Doesn't say that on there at all.
There's no rule. Alright, so what is it
Bearded.
on? So,
Don't actually change it yet.
Nothing?
Nothing changes. You wear the belt, and then because you're wearing it, it's going to be living vicariously through you for the moment.
Right.
So when it feels like you've been heroically dwarvish enough, it will start to give you the granted powers of the belt.
A beard.
Okay.
And a beard. Yeah.
And then in the party treasure also there is a weapon, +1 battle axe, +1 morning star. Is that 2 different weapons?
It's 2
Is that what I'm
weapons,
looking at, or was it just
two different weapons.
Does anybody want a battle axe or a morning star? And or nobody.
Yeah, it had come up that General might be the one to use them because
with
he's melee.
weapon test, right?
Chris. Yeah. Yeah, neither one of those are finessable, I don't think.
Oh, battle axe and mornings? Yeah, no.
You could use one as a main hand.
Hand axe, I think, because it's a light weapon. But
Right.
yeah,
I ain't giving up my pole arm.
my jam.
Alright. Hold on, we might want them someday.
Might want to sell them.
Maybe.
Keep them in case we need them.
In case we have to fight something that requires magic weapons.
And you have a day to attune to it.
Yeah. Alright. So it's been roughly 6 months since you got back. Lots of things have happened, as we've discussed. And it is on a fateful night as the GM changes the music to something different. We'll go with this one again. Spooky enough.
I don't know if I'm not getting the music or if it's just quiet and I can't hear it over the
I've got them. I've got the individual tracks down, and I've got the music volume all the way up. So if you don't turn your personal music volume all the way up, you're not going to hear it.
Yeah, I've been hearing it a little bit.
Is that in Roll20?
Yeah, it's in the settings, the master music volume level. I'm basing the volumes on that being at max. So if you have it any less than max, you probably won't hear it because I keep it
all the way up.
Okay, I don't know why it's not working. It's pretty low.
Like I said, it might just be
like if I do this, can you hear it now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I
can hear it.
Yeah.
I
can't. You said air conditioner?
It's just the air conditioner drowning.
That could be it.
Probably.
You guys hear the air conditioner when I talk?
No.
Yes, I do. I hear like a fuzzy background noise. I assume that's what it is. It's not bad. It's not annoying or anything.
Okay.
Quick note, I think I know who I'd want to have sign my book. Forget a name, but Dad.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah, good call.
As well as Osbright, Nevea, and whoever is my main superior at the church.
Okay. Make a note somewhere that I don't know if those two want to. That's up to them. But the two NPCs will for sure. The guy at the church looks at you kind of funny, like, "You want my signature? Okay."
Well, I'll tell him what it's for, basically.
Right, but because it's something that's never been done before, you're the first person to have this weird ability. But then you test it out, and he's like, "Oh, this is fascinating." But can they contact you, or can only you have to initiate the contact? I can look. You did link it. It's right there.
You can cast the sending spell.
Okay. All right.
And they can respond to sending, right?
Right.
Or is that just...
Yeah.
That is pretty neat, though.
Yeah. Only if you say every time you can respond to this message.
Right. So... Yes.
I would say that if he really wants me to, I'll sign it, but I suggest possibly getting Tristan to sign it.
He hasn't seen him. He's been missing for a while now.
I know, but I mean, at least maybe save one signature for him, or...
He can just erase a name.
He can always take it out, yeah. It only takes 6 seconds for him to erase a name.
I can always unfriend you.
Sorry, you've been removed from my top 6.
I was gonna say that.
Okay.
I love this music. God, I get distracted. So it is on the night of whatever in question, the night that fate has determined
Determined!
Determined! It's kind of like Leviathan that came up last time that I laughed so hard when Amanda said. So if you cast Enlarge on Nevaeh, you get the Leviathan.
Oh, man. 8 months ago, me was so much smarter than I am now.
We are encounter to Aramega.
You get summoned to when the guard shows up looking for Avora with just impatience in his voice. He needs you to go to a street, just a random street on the southwest side of the city.
Sounds weird. I'm in.
All right. Well, when you rush down to the street on the southwest side of the city, I have a map labeled street, and I forgot to put anything on it. So
Genius.
we're just going to use this street so you can envision to yourself what a street looks like. You see,
Thank God I had forgotten.
You see a half dozen Dragonborn youths and a half dozen or more angry townspeople, shopkeepers.
Utes. The H is silent.
A bunch of youths. And
these guys.
And the Dragonborn are throwing rocks at the front of the shops and just causing chaos. And there's a few older Dragonborn there trying to get them to calm down, but the kids are just stomping their feet and shouting, and the town guards have their pikes out and they're trying to separate it, and it's just chaos as you arrive on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
You have an action?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to the Utes.
They recognize you and respect you because of what you represent to them as a people, and they're still holding their bricks and their rocks, and they're like, "Hey, these folks won't show us any respect. They won't sell us all the stuff we want." And the shopkeepers are like, "We don't have it anymore. You bought it all." And they start shouting again, and they're hollering, and you're standing there, arms at both sides. Just, calm down,
Yeah, I definitely have my weapon with me, just so you know. Without it.
The guardsmen basically round up the shopkeepers now that you've got the Dragonborns kind of backed down a bit, backed away from the shops. And some of the older Dragonborn, now that they can be heard over all the shouting, are grabbing each of the individual kids, like you assume they're like their parents or whatever.
Right.
And one of the older ones comes over to you, and he says, "It's getting worse and worse. The children just don't fit in here. Maybe we made a mistake."
The mistake is that they are not learning to respect everybody else. That there's no commonality here. We need integration, not one team against the other.
Well, I fear that part of the problem is that so many of our friends and family are still trapped at home with no hope in sight of escape. I mean, many of these children left their mothers and siblings back at the islands.
And I understand, but we have to do something because we can't bring more of them here if all we're showing is disruption.
Well, we can't bring any more of them here at all unless someone goes and tells the Emperor to release them from slavery. And then he kind of gets this idea.
Remember?
Do you think you could do this?
Obviously. Isn't something that I remember that they were in slavery?
They fled. They were like in exile. It was kind of a overnight escape attempt, and then something attacked the ship and killed a lot of the ones that did get out. You know that there's some kind of political unrest. Most of these people just knew that they were being mistreated. being forced to build strange things and worship strange gods, and they wanted out. He says, "Yeah, I think these youths are they're aimless, they're focusless. They need hope."
I would like to make a deal with the rest of you. I will bring this cause to the Emperor. Is that what you said, Emperor?
Yes. We approached the king about.
I know, and I understand.
And they said no.
I will bring it up again and try to do what I can to make this happen. But I need some assurance from the rest of our people that we will do better at teaching the children to integrate and to treat other people as if they are people, as if they are part of us.
Of course, we've been trying.
I understand. If there's anything that I can do to help with that, please let me know.
I will speak to the elders, and we will speak to the children, and we will try. We will try to work something out. Perhaps.
Would it help if I came with other people from the city to speak to you as children?
That could potentially help. Yes, I was thinking maybe we kick the more disastrous youths out for a few days in the countryside, just to get away from the city for a while. Get their anger out on some vegetation.
Do you think some training might help? Do I still have contact with the guy who trained me? Who trained me?
Yeah, actually you do. He lives just outside of the city. Heskar, who were married to Eridar.
Yeah. I definitely remembered that entire name. Yeah. But not as long as mine. No.
Blame Matt.
Yeah, I do blame Matt. Don't worry. I have something that may help with that. Let me get in contact with a friend of mine and see if he's willing to do some short-term training classes for some of the teens to get the children to get some of their energy out and a little bit of focus.
Oh, that might be very good. Perhaps they could even have elevated jobs like yours.
Absolutely, I'm sure they're always looking for people and people to help out around the city. But they have some manners first and some ability to work amongst other people.
Of course. Well, with a focused goal, perhaps they can control some of this angst.
I agree.
But for now, I believe we will travel a bit to some of the surrounding towns.
That's a wonderful idea. I will come to see you once I have some more information on what we can do about getting some sort of an energy releasing after school program, if you will.
Yeah, that's basically it.
for
troubled youth.
For some yes. At-risk Dragonborn. And maybe some other city children can train with them to help them. Help them integrate better. I keep trying to use the words. Integrate is really
after school program.
Woo-hoo. That's right. I'm a socialist at heart. I don't know what you want.
Or disastrous youth.
That's right. I'm disastrous.
That part is pretty easy. I don't remember how I wanted to roleplay Heskar, so I want to kind of whatever.
Yeah. We can just roll over that.
We hand wave it away. You talk to Heskar, you organize something. He's kind of a recluse at this point, but
maybe he can get other people to help, and he can do a portion.
Right, and you're like his only success story, so you can talk him into something.
Yeah, look at me, come on.
So he reluctantly goes along with it. Starts a little training, an hour a day after.
I don't want him to do all of it, just to help get organized and maybe find some other people to help train.
Right, and there are a lot
Obviously,
of people
we don't need
town,
just
not
fighter
just the Dragonborn, that are looking for things to do.
Right.
So you get a little a secret mercenary
unit.
unit
together. No, that's not what I'm doing.
A private military contractor too. Avora builds the first TSNG.
Anyway, so I would try to talk to some others that seem to have some sort of any kind of skills, not even just skills,
Like
but
staff skills or computer.
yeah, sweet nunchuck skills. Yeah. We need somebody to cook them some tots.
City too, so
Yeah.
in the
so
Coast Guard, so there's plenty of guys.
Yeah, so see, and then
out.
also any of those that I know of that have children, especially like mid to older children,
It's
that would also
Club.
be interesting.
Fight Club.
Fight Club, but for kids.
First move, Kid Fight Club. You don't talk about Kid Fight Club.
Yes. So yeah, I would try to set that up.
Fight Guild. Fight Guild. Don't talk about it.
Vanderol would be willing to once weekly do like basic survival training.
Yeah. Okay.
Self-reliance.
You actually managed to get a few of the Dragonborn into the Ranger Corps.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna ask Nevaeh to give some singing lessons.
Dragonborn choir.
With
Dragonborn children's choir.
Hey man, not everybody wants to fight. They just have energy. You never know.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of energy and a lot of frustration. And as you talk to the youths, you realize that a lot of it is just like they feel like they've been dropped off in the middle of nowhere and forced to,
of course,
make a life out of it.
So the important part for me, I think, would be integrating with the rest of like other children in the city that aren't Dragonborn, because that'll help them feel like they're more of part of the community, not just burning energy with other Dragonborn still segregated.
Right. But on the matter of actually speaking to the Emperor, as far as you know, it is a long way from here to the islands. Like, it sounds like a month's travel, possibly more.
Great.
They didn't actually navigate here. They lost a lot of control.
Yeah, they just ended up here.
So they drifted here, so they don't exactly know how long away it is. They have navigational charts that can probably find it. If you had, like, the Dragonborn ship captain come along. So the trick is getting a ship, and they seem to think that it's going to take a show of force or a really good negotiator to get the Emperor to give up his free labor.
Right.
So you do have access to the King Eric II, who spends most of his time medieval golfing,
of course,
farming, and anything else that's not the day-to-day management of the kingdom.
Yeah.
He's around, and he shows up for the daily, townspeople come in to complain.
He does his daily quests and then goes back.
Yeah, he sits on the throne, he listens to the petitioners, he looks at Lady Live and nods for whatever her judgment is.
So I would probably talk to Lady Live first.
Alright. Well, she's easy to find, and if you approach her, she will make time for you. And she says, what can I do for you today?
I have an issue that needs to be addressed with the king and eventually the emperor, and I need your advice on how to handle it.
She arches an eyebrow at the mention of emperor, like she's not sure who you're referring to.
Isn't that what you said? Isn't that what you said?
Yes, but
yes, of course, yes. Well, that emperor across the ocean, different emperor. Don't worry, he's not important right now. So I need to discuss with the king the possibility of an expedition. As I'm sure you're aware, the Dragonborn have been causing some difficulty in the city, and while I believe that I've been working on reducing that, there are some underlying issues that are going to continue to be an issue for them. Namely, that some of their families are still living in slavery on a distant island. Right? An island? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's a series of islands. But yeah.
Okay.
She says, what are you suggesting? What are you implying that you would need? I've already told them once
use
we can't
ship.
spare a naval unit to go and.
I'm not asking for
start
a naval unit.
You're talking about potentially overthrowing a government, or at the very least, changing their way of life.
Yeah, and I understand that. And I understand also that they've been told that that's not a possibility right now. So, what I'm asking for is possibly a ship. My group and possibly others, if you're willing to release a few people, to maybe go there and see what our options.
Make an insight check.
Okay, cool. I don't know where to go from here. Insight. I know how to play this game. Oh, sure. 7.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Nice plus 0 there.
She says, "Why don't we convene in the morning during the petitioner hour, whatever the meeting time would be called, and you can bring this up with His Majesty, and we'll see what he wants to do."
Do you have any input into what might be the best course of action? What might be my best options?
I would suggest.
I think that there's no hope. Please.
They're here. They're safe. What happens in their homeland is no longer of their concern.
It's their families. It is their concern.
But they're so far away now. Who's to say their families are even still alive?
I'm sorry?
She says, who's to say their families are even still alive? Yes, it's very cool.
My siblings were still in slavery. Yes, I know. If my siblings were still in slavery, I would do everything to find out if they were, and if they were, I would help them.
Persuasion roll.
So glad I came here alone with my plus 0.
She says, let's leave this for His Highness and see what he has to say. If there's nothing else, I have business to attend to.
I understand. Thank you for your time.
Something about a private military corps happening? No. Happening out somewhere else?
That's not important. Nothing.
What's
Nothing to see there. So I'm gonna, over the course of the rest of the day, I don't know what time of day it was that I would have met with her. I'd probably try to catch up with... Yeah, okay. So I will spend the rest of the day trying to catch up with Dura and the others, if I can, to fill them in on what's happening and what I intend to bring up with the king tomorrow.
Okay. You can do that.
To see if they can assist me.
You got...
I go to the house and I ring the bell and I say, meeting time!
Answer the door, like, why?
Well, I guess I was on the right one. This is your living room.
Ring the bell.
There we go.
No. I'm picturing like a big old dinner bell outside the door. And then, like, the family to come to a meeting.
No.
Like those big old triangles at a farmhouse.
Alright. So,
No.
so everybody else in on it, on the plan. You can discuss if you like before we jump to the king meeting.
Does anybody have any input in this?
So you're suggesting that the 7 of you travel to the islands,
Terrible idea.
talk to the
Terrible
emperor,
idea.
right? I'm just making
Sure,
sure I'm
yeah.
clear on this. Okay.
Not a good plan. I'm not known for my
Not
brain.
necessarily not a good plan.
Forgot I had a -1 in intelligence. Yes. Okay, so here's how it's gonna work. We're gonna take a ship, we're gonna go there, we're gonna help out some people, and then we're gonna come home. I know. It's real simple to me. I don't see the problem.
So we're
I
just going
understand that it's a long shot. I don't know what I need. what I need is you guys to help me, because I need to help what are essentially the only of my people that I know, but I don't know how to go about it. And if you guys have any input in that, I would love to hear it.
Well, I guess if we ask him nicely, if we just go and say, hey, you've got to let your people go.
Let my people go!
Chris,
Likely.
as this whole thing is happening, William, the ghostly blonde girl appears, and she's standing next to Agora, and just kind of looking up at her with like this hopeful look in her eyes. No one else can see it, obviously.
Well, it might work. I mean, we don't necessarily have to get the king's permission, or maybe we could talk to emperors, whatever. Maybe we could talk to them. I mean, the ghost lady approves.
Yes, that's the problem. Yes.
Slavery's bad, okay?
Okay.
You expect them to just give up their free labor force?
I have an alternate plan
Well, let's hear that alternate
to run. We go in more quietly to the island, and we speak with the people themselves to help them
The slaves.
escape on their own. Yes.
Okay. They're on several
Yes.
islands.
String of islands? A string of islands?
Series of islands, yep.
Yes. To help them start a revolution on their own. Or to join a revolution, to start a revolution with them. Because obviously it's not something that we will be able to win their freedom, just the 7 of us.
Presumably, there's like guards and people who, tell the slaves what to do.
Sure.
And we need to be careful too, because we would be going and they could see us coming on behalf of Roldes, and that's not a perception we should give off.
Yes, I wasn't planning to present this option to the...
But if we take a ship...
So plan A is to show up and ask nicely.
I need input on this plan, like what we can do, and I to the king on like if there's anything we can offer from Roldes to help make this happen.
I think the only thing we can do is offer an alternative. And...
What, like enslave halflings instead? Like,
Build robots!
Does not enslave anyone.
Right.
Or...
recategorize them as indentured servants?
I feel like that won't change the coalition.
Minimum wage?
No, that's too much.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many Dragonborn there are on all the islands?
No, but you do know that there was not so much an overcrowding issue, but a resources depletion issue. Which is the only reason why the lower class is being given, thin rations and asked to... I mean, it's slavery only in that there's no other way of life right now. The rich are... I mean, it's too much like real life, I guess.
Eat the rich, eat the rich.
Right, the top-ranking people are living high on the hog, as they say, and they're keeping everyone else working and on limited resources so that they can stay at their current level of joy and whatnot. And it's somewhat based on the color of your scales, too.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
What do I know about that?
Yeah, what would you know about that?
What would I know about
You
that?
know that the metallics tend to be downtrodden. Most of the enslaved ones are the metallics. The chromatics that are beat down are pretty much the black and white ones. So green, red, and blue are like the upper echelons of royalty.
Great. Okay. So I've got a good leg to stand on here. Cool.
I mean, Heskar's brass, so it stands. You know, he was one of the first ones to come here looking for an expansion.
Right.
What is she all?
Also, since I know that they don't want to send any of the military, I can offer to speak with the Dragonborn residing in the city and see if any of them are willing to come to help set their people free.
Yeah.
You should see what their what Rolda's stake in their empire is, because if Rolda's has no stake on whether theoretically whether their government is overthrown or not, if it doesn't affect Rolda's, then we can do kind of whatever we want as long as we're not there under the guise that it's about Rolda's.
Right,
But if
their
Rolda's
official
has a
capacity.
stake, yeah.
Right.
If they have stake in the government, then that's a different approach that needs to be
Right.
considered.
I'd say we
Of
give
course.
the Emperor the option. If he says no, then we maybe try to incite a revolution.
That's my thinking too.
Viva la revolution!
What do we have to entice the Emperor to change?
I personally have 1,800 silver pieces.
What do we have
I
to?
wonder where she was going with that.
Your fists.
What do we have
Your fists and my pole arm, baby. Let's go.
to make sure the changes stay after we leave?
Threaten with a little stabby stab.
Kill the emperor.
Yeah, but if
Sorry,
we
we
go
just said
back,
eat the rich. I don't know if you know this. We're gonna eat a lot of meat.
So have they expanded before? Why, if they're having resource problems, why don't they just leave?
because they're
Because they
slaves.
have to escape to leave. Yeah, they're enslaved.
So they're
We
not.
would need boats if we wanted to just rescue them.
So they're not. I mean, yes, that's slavery is, but they're not.
I mean, I assume our boats there. They would just need to be commandeered.
Yeah, I mean, I think our options are either help them escape off the island or overthrow a government.
You're having a meeting with the king, yes?
I am presenting my case during his daily, right? During his
Medieval gold.
daily roll call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to see
During his
what,
dailies.
before we do anything, we need to see what stake he has, the kingdom has in the islands, and that should influence our decision. That will have an influence on our decision.
Presumably beef.
Well,
Does-
if he has beef, then why wouldn't he send an army after them already?
No, I meant they
Does
actually made it.
like cow beef? Does
It could be wooden.
I don't? Do you have any insight into how to get that information? Because I've already spoken with Lady Blythe, and she was not exactly forthcoming, which I know is a surprise to everybody.
I just think we have to have that conversation unless he has an advisor that can be spoken to. Or if you want to go around and ask, what time is it comparative to when the king sees people?
Well, it's the next day that you'll have to deal with it.
Oh, okay.
Right, so it's probably
Time.
by the time I got everybody together, it's probably what, early afternoon?
Yeah.
Do we know?
I feel like Osprey should take up medieval golf and, start palling around with the king, and then that'll help with some influence, you know? Little hobnobbing with the boss man.
I don't know. You seem to be getting more social lately. I don't know, you're spending less and less time in the woods alone. Maybe you could pal around with the king. I don't know.
That's not my thing.
I did golf in college and it just wasn't for me, man.
And they don't like dogs on the golf course.
That's fair.
He just needs to change shape and be the king's pet for like a week or two.
They have a tendency to eat the golf balls.
That's a good call.
Where anyone brought up Osric's appearance change, or are we just gonna not talk about that?
I want it to continue because he looks great. So we're just gonna.
Yeah, for most of you, it's a gradual change.
Alright, fine, whatever.
I mean, the feathers and the exposed chest area.
Didn't know if you want to talk about it.
Don't be jealous because I'm more fabulous than you are.
Is that how that's gonna go now?
I mean,
No.
That is
there are a lot of words I would use for Dura, but I'm not sure fabulous is the one I know.
absolutely not.
Fabulous!
Well, what are you learning in wizard school these days, Ulrich?
Wizard school.
I have been learning the illusion school.
Illusion?
Yeah.
Interesting.
See, that could
That's pretty
be
interesting.
advantageous.
Half elf, right, Brian?
Yep.
Oh, see, he just wants us to think he's fabulous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all an illusion. I'm not really that fabulous.
All right. Well, I
Maybe
believe.
work for friendly fish, psychic fish, fabulous fish.
Okay,
Psychic fish.
I'm still working on some new songs on my own.
Psychic fish.
I quit!
But psychic
It's
fish.
pronounced Hish.
Yeah, psychic fish. Yeah, I tricked you token,
One
Brian.
word. It's one word.
Think I fixed you token.
Psychic.
You fixed mine too.
The numbers.
Hish.
The numbers aren't
Exactly.
going into the numbers. Oh, that's why I have to do that.
You can leave me token as is. I don't care.
I'll tinker with it.
Did you hear me?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, you can leave mine as is. I just wanted the picture of my bio changed, so I'm good.
Okay. Oh, so the actual token is fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
The hunter wants hers changed.
Yeah, she's prettier.
Okay. I will do that.
Thank you.
Everyone's just getting more fabulous this go around.
All right. So, who is going to the meeting with the king?
So before that, though, we wanted to see if we could talk to anybody about finding out what, see if we could maybe get a meeting with his advisor. Is Lady Life his only, grade 5?
No, I think a lot of people are there. There's the head priest is there. Clarice Redgrave advises to the king when necessary.
Who's the most chatty that we know of?
Who's the what?
The most chatty that we know of.
The most chatty?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's really chatty. I mean, they're part of the king's inner circle, so he's not gonna pick people that are generally chatty.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, I'm not changing this conference room ever.
Perfect. Thank God. I love it. Okay, so I guess we would just try to go talk to an advisor, maybe one or two of us, to see what,
Yeah, I don't think
who's
we
got
all-
good... No, who's got good, charisma? No one? Cool.
Me.
Cool.
And
EJ, are you a sorcerer?
No, she's a bard. So Nevaeh and
Bard, yeah, still, same.
Mine's 0, so
William, what's yours?
Williams is he's a warlock, so he's charisma too.
I think most of my.
Oh, Warlock is charisma?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Okay. Which one of you wants to come with me, William or Nevaeh? EJ's dead.
Or Mike's
abandoned us.
She's far away from the push to talk button.
It's rude. Alright, which one of you wants to come with me?
We could both go.
Fine. Yeah,
My
let's go.
king token is just this guy on a seat here. I didn't actually give him a real token.
That's fair. Well, we're going to see his advisors first before the meeting with the kings.
Okay.
So we just want to talk to them about what, I guess what the stake of the kingdom is in that island? Like,
Garen's on it too. So those of you from the Mage School could get an audience with Garen if you wanted. You're just trying to get an idea of what the World's policy is toward that empire right now? I can summarize it for you. They don't have an official stance.
okay.
The Dragonborn have been here for what, a year and a half, 2 years now? There's been no contact with the Empire, and as far as you know, the refugees here don't have any standing back home and don't want to go back because they'll be either enslaved or executed or whatever. So the official stance has been, it's not our problem. We'll take the refugees in, but we're not going to go there. And you do find out that at some point in the last few weeks, no, actually it's been over 8 months now, there was a request by the Dragonborn in Rhodes that the king send a naval vessel out to the Empire to rescue the rest of the slaves, and it was shot down.
What was the reason it was shot down? Like, what was the reason
that it was, internal politics. It was interfering in another nation's way of whatever. It's not our problem, basically.
Right.
And the king seemed indifferent to the conversation. The order came from Lady Live to ignore it. I think it's actually one of the cutscenes from the previous games.
Right. Yep.
So
if we go around and ask some of the members of his cabinet or whatever, I could.
I don't want to do that. I wanted to talk to one person because I don't want it. I don't want them to tell him that we're all going around talking to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to think that we're trying to go behind his back and influence.
Firing against him.
No, it's
Right.
not going. But it's not going behind his back. It's kind of going behind Lady's back.
Yeah, but I already talked to her.
So we can ask everybody else. Oh yeah.
I talked to her first, so irrelevant.
You talked to Mom and she said no, so now you're trying to talk to Dad.
Just look at Mom it's super true.
In all actuality, he outranks her, so...
Yeah, technically.
He doesn't care.
Okay, so let's just go to the meeting then. Fine.
So you go to the throne room. I know this is the conference room, but you actually go to the throne room, and you've got him on his throne, kind of leaning back with a drink in one hand, half listening. And the person in front of you goes up and complains about a land dispute, and he just kind of looks at Lady Lythe, and she lists out a quick reprimand or whatever, and the guards tend to it. And that's how most of the thing goes, is he'll listen, he'll look at her, and she'll make a judgment, and off it goes. So when you step to the front, he takes notice, because you don't usually attend these things. Or if you do, you're standing off to the side with the other guardsmen. Right. And he says, Vora, how can I be of service for you today?
Hello, your whatever honor, I suppose. Yeah, that's the one thing.
Your Highness?
Kingliness?
Sure, your kingliness. I'd like to discuss something that I know has been brought up before, and I don't know. I'm not saying it with this many ums either.
Yeah. You may recently pull out this piece of paper where you've written down exactly what
Hold, please! Yes. I would like to take a ship to help out my brethren that are still essentially enslaved. I understand that this has been brought to your attention before, and for good reason has been turned down. I'm not asking for any part of our military. I'm simply asking for a ship to see what can be done and to possibly speak with the Emperor. I'd also like your permission to maybe we can discuss something with the Emperor on how our countries can be mutually beneficial in trade, possibly.
He looks at Lady Lythe, and she steps forward. She says, Your Majesty, it would be against our better judgment to involve ourselves in foreign politics at this time. We are still rebuilding our own city. We can't very well help another society rebuild from scratch.
My alternative is to go as not part of our government and to go as a private.
As you started speaking when she was still sort of finishing up her point.
Well, she was like at the end.
Right, but she shoots you a glare, you know? Like, you had your turn. But she bows and steps back. Very artificial, I guess. And the king nods, looks like he's in thought. You know, he touches his chin a minute, and he looks, and he says,
If
he looks at Lady Lythe, he says, but she said she didn't want to take any of the military. So then, it's not rolled as proper, it's a personal expedition.
we could go as a personal expedition with none of the Roldes finery on it to show that we are not coming as an emissary.
He makes the broad open hand gesture that you know toward you as he looks at her. Huh? She says, Your Majesty, it is a great journey, and it is even one ship is an what's the word? An expenditure of resources that I'm not sure we can afford to lose. And he cuts her off, and he goes, Avora, I think I approve. And make an insight check.
Okay.
Everybody that's there. So William and Nevaeh are there too.
Other?
Yeah, I don't know if you should.
I got that killer 12,
I was only going for a 10.
Okay.
This is the one time that you feel like now you know what it's like to be on Lady Lythe's bad side, because if her eyes could kill you, you feel like your head would have just exploded like scanners, which I just saw with the first time.
My facial expression will not change in the least.
Ooh, I want you to make a deception roll.
I'm not afraid of her, so.
Okay, make a persuasion roll.
Oh shit. Sure, that's the same roll. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, buddy! You lock eyes for a moment. And, it gets to be this awkward staring contest, and so she breaks first. And she
that's power, my friend.
She looks at the king, and she says through gritted teeth, As you wish. The ship will be made ready. And she turns and she storms out of the room.
Very much, Your Majesty. I appreciate everything you've done for me.
I think as soon as she storms out of the room, I will just sit there and do a big old yeah!
I slap you on the back of the head.
He says, then I wish you well on your trip. We will make sure that your hold is well stocked with foodstuffs, so that you will not go hungry, and I will send some of my best sailors.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And he points at you and says, no Roldes finery, no regalia, no flag.
None at all. I'll let you know. I'll send you a missive when we are ready to take off, but other than that, I'll assume that we are on our own.
Godspeed. And I wish you luck on your...
I'll bow and...
Alright. And it's 9:40.
Leave the room.
Probably the good place to stop. But
Look at those sweet dice rolls I got today, guys!
yeah.
Wow, and we didn't even have to tell him about how that might help deal with the unrest. And
We walk out of the room.
All right. Stopping recording.
I forgot why I can't bring William to meetings.
And the Pride War Nation.
I feel like I'm going to get yelled at.
Uh-oh.
What did you say, Chris?
Just kind of going on and on
Oh.
about all the reasons we're giving for why we should do this. And how it could be
what's the matter there, Dura?
controlled as.
Said, why do I feel like I'm going to get yelled at for this?
Nah, why would you get yelled at?
I think we're all.
Wow,